Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm an atheist, and I have been for about 6 years now. I used to believe in God. I was raised to be a Presbyterian, and when I entered my mid-20s, I started questioning my beliefs, as most of us do around that time, or even earlier, and I started doing research on the internet about the arguments for the existence of God and against the existence of God, and I wanted actually reassurance that my belief in God was justified, and the more I looked into the arguments for God, the more I found that that belief was unsubstantiated. And then I gradually became a skeptical atheist, and I gave up my belief in God.
As though by divine providence, the recent Latin American tour by His Holiness Patriarch Kirill of the Russian Orthodox Church just happened to overlap with the Pope's visit to Mexico. The ROC's Department for External Church Relations reports that Kirill took advantage of this happy coincidence to meet with Pope Francis in Cuba to sign a joint declaration of unity between their two sects, which parted ways nearly 1,000 years ago. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom reports that the victims of religious persecution around the world are minority groups in general, rather than Christians in particular. Still, the joint declaration signed by the Pope and the Patriarch on February 12th calls on the international community to act urgently on behalf of Christians, yet simply expresses compassion for the suffering experienced by the faithful of other religious traditions. After spending 2 hours behind closed doors, the two men, both wearing dresses, emerged with a condemnation of homosexuality. But the Patriarch's outing wasn't all fun and games. After Cuba, Brazil, and Paraguay, His Holiness journeyed to Antarctica to deliver a homily at the Orthodox Trinity Chapel, to bless the chilly Antarctic waters, and to lecture worshippers Deepak Chopra style on divine energy and its relationship to the physical and chemical properties of water. Before ending his stay at the bottom of the world, His Holiness visited a nearby penguin colony. This was quite an impressive display of faith, since a penguin colony is a dangerous place to be for someone named Kirill. In the city of Hangzhou, in China's Zhejiang province, the pastor of a $7 million, 10,000-member megachurch the size of 2 football fields has been arrested and charged with embezzling some $1.6 million. When Pastor Joseph Gu was arrested, Christian observers everywhere noted that Gu has been an outspoken critic of the provincial government's program of tightening historically lax building codes. In particular, he has objected to the sometimes forcible removal and demolition of nearly 2,000 crosses from the steeples on top of the numerous churches in the provinces. Bright red crosses, often 2 stories tall, and sometimes even neon lit. Authorities did not initially announce the charges against Gu, giving Christians the opportunity to insinuate that he was a prisoner of conscience, even extending the notion that the cross removals represented China's active persecution of Christians in particular. Those making the insinuation overlook many salient facts, including the fact that Gu has been criticizing the government for several years, while supposedly hundreds of others have been secretly arrested and taken to some Chinese dungeon for following his example. Just as overlooked is the fact that just weeks before Gu's colleague Li Guanzhong and his wife Zhang Shuzhen, it is instructive to compare the persecution removing Vegas-style adornments to the plight of Muslims in the northern region of Xinjiang, where it is illegal to fast during Ramadan and where Muslim-owned restaurants are not allowed to close on the holy day. The Nigerian National Emergency Management Agency reported 65 persons killed and 136 injured during a January attack by Boko Haram on the tiny village of Dalori near the state capital of Maiduguri. The onslaught lasted some 4 hours, during which the attackers gunned down villagers and firebombed their huts, burning many, including even children, alive, and razing villages to the ground. When Nigerian soldiers first arrived on the scene, they were outgunned and unable to repel the terrorists. Only when more personnel arrived with heavier weaponry were the attackers driven off. There is speculation that the strike was a reprisal against one of the vigilante groups in the area, the Civilian Joint Task Force, which was formed to drive Boko Haram out of Maiduguri, where the terrorist group itself first appeared in 2002. 3 female suicide bombers took part in the attack, although only one succeeded in her mission, killing scores of people, according to a NEMA official. The 2 other women blew themselves up when they were thwarted in their attempt to infiltrate a nearby refugee camp with a population of 25,000. The Nigerian branch of the International Organization for Migration reports that of Nigeria's 2.1 million persons displaced by national disasters and violence, nearly 85%, some 1.8 million, have Boko Haram's depredations to thank.